Hello and very good evening, everyone. My name is Yash Sharma, your trainer for today, and I hope you all can hear me well. So I welcome you all on behalf of Nexperts Academy, and thank you so much for joining us today. Our today's workshop title is SQL for Data Science. Today we will be learning about data science, how SQL can be used in data science, why SQL is a required skill to become a data scientist, and various topics related to SQL for data science. So I welcome you all on behalf of Nexperts Academy. Thank you all for joining us today, and we are now about to start this live workshop. So guys, the title of our workshop is SQL for Data Science. Firstly, I would like to show you today's agenda. We'll start the session with company introduction. Then we are going to discuss about data science means what do you mean by data science. Then we are going to learn about SQL. What is the need of SQL in data science? This is also we are going to discuss in our today's session. And practically, we are going to understand that how you can use SQL in data science. So guys, first of all, we are going to start with the company introduction. So who we are Nexperts Academy, IT training academy in Malaysia. If I give you a brief about our company, we provide training in most demanding IT technologies such as networking system, programming, data science, IoT, and many others. We are an IT training academy providing technology related courses for the last 10 years. We are committed to provide excellent education, training, and resources so that our student will thrive in today's competitive world. So guys, these are the courses which we used to offer. We have CCNA, we have CCNP, Python, data science, machine learning. We are into artificial intelligence, web development, and many more. For more information, you can connect with us. You can visit our website nexpertsacademy.com. You can join our Facebook page. You can connect with us on our YouTube channel, Instagram, and even you can contact us directly. So now guys, today's main objective is to understand what exactly SQL for data science is all about. So I have divided this workshop into two modules. In the very first module, we are going to discuss about theoretical part. Means I'll show you what is data science, what exactly data science in the real world is, and what is the need of SQL. One thing is very sure, if you want to become a very good data scientist, SQL should be in your resume, or you should have an expertise in SQL. So what is the need of SQL for data science? Everything we are going to discuss in this workshop. So first of all, guys, we are about to start our journey with what is data science, means what exactly do you mean by data science? In a very layman term, if I tell you, data science is the domain of study that deals with vast volumes of data using modern tools and techniques to find unseen patterns, derive meaningful information, and making prediction. Data science is actually the field of study that combines domain expertise, programming skills, and knowledge of mathematics and statistics to extract meaningful insights from data. In a very layman term, if I tell you, data science is what? Data science is nothing. Extracting the information. Okay, extracting the information from the data is known as data science. Now, I would like to show you, or I would like to give you more brief about data science with the help of an example so that it will become very clear in your mind what exactly data science is all about. So guys, we know that data science is very popular field these days. Okay, if you go to the Google Trends and if you check, there are many people who are moving towards data science. So what makes data science so special? Why it is on trending? So now I would like to explain you the concept of data science with the help of a real-time example, so that you can get an idea that, okay, this is what exactly data science is all about. In a simple terms, I would say data science is all about observe, analyze, and react. Okay, you need to understand these three words very carefully. Data science is what? Observe, analyze, and react. So let me give you a very simple example. So guys, I'm sure you have seen smartwatches, or maybe you use one too. So before I proceed further, please do let me know, guys, in chat message, how many of you here actually uses smartwatches? Is there anyone in the meeting who actually uses smartwatches? Because it's very common nowadays. Okay, so if anyone there in the meeting who uses smartwatch, you can let me know. Okay, so we have one participant who uses smartwatch. Great. I have a brother using one. Okay, great. That means you are aware of that what exactly smartwatch is all about. So guys, I'm sure you have seen smartwatches, or maybe you use one too. These smart gadgets can measure your sleep quality, how much you walk, your heart rate, etc. First of all, why people nowadays used to wear smartwatches? Because these smartwatches will not tell you the time details only. Okay, they will let you know that how much you walk today, how many calories you have burned today. Even there are many smartwatches available in the market who can give you an ECG report. They can monitor your heartbeat. Okay, even they can monitor your oxygen level. And that is the reason why nowadays people are used to buy these smart watches. So these smart gadgets can measure your sleep quality, how much you walk, your heart rate, etc. So this is how they used to collect the data. Let me show you a quick example of it. Here, we are going to take an example of sleep quality, for instance. I told you that these smart watches can measure your sleep quality, how many calories you have burned, even they can monitor your oxygen level and your ECG. So here we are taking an example of sleep quality, that how these smart watches used to measure your sleep quality. So let us say if you check every single day, how did you sleep the last night before? That is one data point for every day. One thing is very sure, guys, that these smart gadgets is used to collect the data. They are monitoring everything. Okay, they are storing your steps, they are storing your ECG levels, they are storing your oxygen level, and so on. So every smartwatch is generally connected via a server, and on that server they used to store such information. So here I'm going to take the same example. So if you check every single day, how did you sleep the last night before? That is one data point for every day. Let's say that you enjoyed excellent sleep last night. You slept 8 hours, you did not move too much, you did not have short awakenings, etc. The day after, you slept slightly worse, only 7 hours, and that is going to be another data point. So what I mean to say is, this smart gadget or your smart watch is keeping the note of everything. So they are connected via server, and this is how they are going to store your information. Let's take an example of 20 December. On 20 December, we have Monday. Suppose you slept at 10 p.m. Okay, so this is going to be your sleep duration. You slept for 8 hours. Did you have any short awakenings? No. Did you have any bad dreams? No. Did you feel laziness in the morning? No. On the next day, again, you are going to monitor, or again, you are going to store this information. Now, first of all, a question may come up in your mind that why we are storing this information. Okay, see, these smart watches are used to collect your data, but why they are doing this? Why they are storing this amount of data? So that by collecting these data points for a whole month, you can start to draw trends from them. Okay, suppose if you start keeping a note of your sleep quality. Okay, let's not take an example of smartwatch. Okay, from now onwards, what you need to do is just take a piece of pen and a paper and start storing this information in this way. Okay, where you can write some date, day, sleep time, duration, short awakenings, bad dream, laziness in the morning. Now, what you need to do is, all you need to do is just collect this data for a month, or let's collect this data for 3 months. So by collecting these data points for a whole month, you can start to draw trends from them. Maybe on the weekends you sleep better and longer. First of all, what is the benefit of storing this information? So you can analyze it. Okay, after storing this information, what you can do is very easily, you can analyze your sleep quality. Now, after storing this information, we came to know that on weekends, we sleep better and longer. Maybe if you go to bed earlier, your sleep quality is better. Or even you can recognize that you have short awakenings around 2 a.m. every night. Now, by collecting the data for a year, you can create more complex analysis. You can learn what's the best time for you to go to bed and wake up. You can identify the more stressful parts of the year when you worked too much and slept too little. Even more, you might be able to predict these stressful parts of the year and you can prepare yourself. And this is what data science is all about. First of all, what exactly we are doing over here? We are storing this information. Why we are storing this information? So that we can understand which is the best time to sleep. When we used to have short awakenings, when we used to feel laziness in the morning, so that you can enhance your sleep quality. So this is what exactly data science is all about. Here we collect, which means we observe the data, then we analyze it and find patterns within it. Then we interpret these insights. We also build predictive models to predict future business events based on the historical data. Nowadays, guys, every company is used to store their data. Now, why they are storing such huge amount of data? Let's take an example of e-commerce companies. The moment when you buy anything from Lazada, from Shopee, from Fashion Wallet, they are keeping the note of everything. Now, why they are storing such information? So that they can extract the meaningful information out of it. Let's take an example. You are running an online grocery store. Okay, let's try to understand the concept of data science with the help of this example. Suppose, guys, you all are running an online grocery store. And what you are doing, you are keeping a note of everything, that user 1 has bought this product, user 2 has bought this product, user 3 bought this product. Means you are maintaining the record of every user shopping cart. Now, why you are doing this? So by storing such data, you can perform some kind of an analysis. You came to know that this X product has been bought with Y product together. Means from your store, people used to buy this product a lot. In the month of September, you get very low sales, but in the month of December, you get very high sales. So that is the reason why nowadays companies are storing their data so that they can extract the meaningful information out of it. And what is data science? Data science is the same, extracting the meaningful information out of the data. Okay, so let me show you some stats that how data science is transforming businesses these days. Now, guys, with the help of data science, you can determine customer churn by analyzing data collected from call centers. So marketing team can take actions to retain them. Now, what is churn user? Churn users are basically those users who left your subscription. Okay, suppose you are using a SIM from a different mobile vendor and suddenly you stopped using their services, okay, or you deactivated your subscription. So you are going to be a churn user for that company. So a data science can help a company to determine customer churn by analyzing data collected from call centers. So marketing team can take actions to retain them. Now, if you are going to collect the data very easily, you can understand that why customers are leaving your subscription. Okay, because you have the data, you can analyze it and you can respond to it accordingly. Data science improve efficiency by analyzing traffic patterns, weather conditions, and other factors. So logistic companies can improve their delivery speeds and reduce cost. Suppose you are the owner of some logistic company and you are storing the data from past 3 years. Now from that data, very easily you can analyze that which is the best time to improve my delivery speed. Let's say in the month of September till October, it's a rainy season, and whenever you import something in the month of September and October, it will get delayed. Okay, so by collecting this information, you can generate some, or you can extract some meaningful information out of the data. Even data science can help improve sales by creating recommendations for customers based upon previous purchases. I'm pretty sure, guys, the moment when we shop online. Okay, so here I'm going to ask a very simple question from you. How many of you have observed this? The moment when you used to buy something from an online store, let's take an example of Shopee, Fashion Wallet, Lazada. These e-commerce giants used to give you product recommendations. So guys, how many of you have observed this? If yes, you can let me know in chat. The moment when you buy something from these e-commerce giants, they used to give you product recommendation. So now guys, on what basis they are giving you these recommendations? Because they have the previous data. They know if a customer is going to buy this product, then definitely he or she will be buying this product as well. Because I already told you that nowadays, every company is used to store their previous data. And guys, why they are storing such data? Why they need a data scientist? So that a data scientist can analyze that data and can generate some trends out of it. That this is the product X and this is the product Y, and these two products bought very oftenly together. So you can see that data science can even help you in improving the sales. Let's not talk about data science over here, guys. Let's take a simple example. Even if you are the owner of some online grocery store, and even if you start keeping record of it, that person 1 bought this from your grocery store, customer 2 bought this from your grocery store, by collecting this data for a year or for 6 months, very easily, even you can predict without using any algorithm, without using Python data science, very easily you can predict that this is the product which is being bought very oftenly by our customers. This is the high selling product and this is the low selling product. Very easily you can identify this. So this is what exactly data science is all about. Now, it can also improve patient diagnosis. So guys, data science is also in healthcare industries these days. So it can improve patient diagnosis by analyzing medical test data and reported symptoms, so doctors can diagnose disease earlier and treat them more effectively. So this is how, guys, data science is transforming the business. Okay, and this is an interesting fact for all of you. Many companies have made data science a priority and are investing in it heavily. Okay, this is an interesting fact for all of you. In Gartner's recent survey of more than 3,000 CIOs, see data science technologies as the most strategic for their companies and are investing accordingly. So guys, you can see that many companies have made data science a priority and are investing in it heavily, because data science can help them to make better future decisions, or data science can help them to make better decisions. So guys, I hope it has been clear to you what exactly a data science is. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask. So data science is all about you can generate some meaningful information out of the historical data. So this is what exactly data science is all about. And guys, mark my word, every industry these days need a data scientist. Let's take an example of an education industry. Education industry also need a data scientist, because a data science is a person who can tell an education company that you should start investing on this course because this course is at the boom. Okay, and how that data scientist will make this decision? With the help of some historical data or with the help of some new trends. Okay, so guys, here we are done with our data science. If you do have any doubt, feel free to ask. Yes, it is more like to a big data. Big data you will be using in order to store the information, but for processing that you need a data science. Okay, so now guys, we are proceeding further. Now we are starting our journey with SQL, because you need to understand that why SQL is an important skills to have in order to become a data scientist. Before, I'll give you some introduction about SQL, and then I'll show you what is the need of SQL in order to become a data scientist. So guys, what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. If you are new to this SQL, or if you are a newbie, you don't know anything about SQL, then listen to me very carefully. SQL, guys, actually stands for Structured Query Language, which is basically a language used by databases. I already told you that nowadays every company is used to store their data. So where they are still storing their data? They used to store their data in some databases. For that, they use cloud computing. If you are wondering that how I can store such huge amount of data, so answer is very simple, guys. You can use cloud computing. We have AWS, Amazon, Aurora. We have multiple databases available in which you can store your huge amount of data. And what is SQL? It is a language used by databases. Now, what do you mean by a database? A database is an organized collection of data so that it can be easily accessed and managed. You can organize data into tables, rows, columns, and index it to make it easier to find relevant information. And SQL is not a database system, it is a query language. Suppose, guys, you are about to initiate an event. Okay, those who are a working professional, let's take an example. Your company is about to introduce an event, and in that event, you need to register, or you need to register your colleagues. So definitely either you are going to use an Excel file, you are going to store their information in a row and a column format. You'll specify some column names, and in that column names, you are going to store relevant information. Okay, so in a database, you can organize the collection of data. Okay, so database is what? It's an organized collection of data. In a database, you can store your information into tables and into a row column format. And SQL is what? SQL is a language used by databases. Suppose you need to know how many registration is been there. So you don't need to count it manually. You can use SQL for that. Okay, suppose you want to know when this participant got his or her registration. So again, you can use an SQL, because SQL is a query language which will help you to retrieve relevant information from your database. So what SQL can do? SQL can execute queries against a database. Queries means you want to find out who is having the maximum salary. Okay, who is the person who is on leave today. So these kinds of queries you can write. Okay, and SQL will help you to find out relevant information. So the first point is SQL can execute queries against a database. Okay, and guys, this query may depend on your need. Okay, suppose you want to find out how many registration has been there, who is left for the registration. So this can be your queries. Now SQL can retrieve the data from a database. SQL can insert new records in a database. SQL can update records in a database. Suppose while doing registration, I have done some mistake. So no worry, with the help of SQL, you can update my information. SQL can delete records from a database. With the help of SQL, you can create new databases. SQL can create new tables in a databases, because in a databases, you need a table to store your information. So very easily with the help of an SQL, you can create tables. SQL can create stored procedures in a database. SQL can create views in a database, and even SQL can set permissions on table procedures and views. That means who can delete the data from the table, who can update the data in a table, that you can manage very easily with the help of SQL. So this is what an SQL can do for you. Okay, and another important interesting fact, if you want to get a job in the field of data science, then it is the most important query language to learn. You can go to the Google and you can check. If you want to get a job in the field of data science, then it is the most important query language to learn. Big enterprises like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn use SQL for storing the data in the backend. Okay, so guys, you can see that these giants used to store their data with the help of SQL. Okay, and now guys, the interesting part, who invented SQL? So Edgar Frank Codd, okay, so this guy invented SQL. So Edgar Frank Codd, while he worked for IBM, invented the relational database in the 70s. Based on that work, Donald and Raymond designed SQL to manipulate data. It was initially called SQL. Okay, earlier days, we used to call SQL as a SQL, but due to trademark problem, it was changed to SQL. However, many people still say it SQL. So guys, SQL or SQL, both are the same. Okay, don't get confused. If someone in your interview asks whether you know SQL, so don't say them no, say them yes. So this guy invented SQL in the 70s. So SQL is not a new technology. It has already been invented in 70s. Now the most important part. What is the need of SQL in data science? Why should I learn SQL for data science? So guys, one thing is very sure. Nowadays, absolutely everything is based on data. It does not really matter if you sell shoes, run a marketing agency, or produce bicycle tires. Data is essential for you. Okay, data is essential for every organization, whether it will be a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whether you sell shoes or whether you run a marketing agency. Data is very crucial for you. You use it all the time. Data helps you in almost everything you do, from searching on Google through hiring new workers up to creating financial report. It's really all about data. So we can say that much of the world's data lived in databases. So where you are going to store such huge amount of data? So the answer is much of the world's data lives in databases. Okay, and guys, I already told you SQL is what? SQL is a language which you can use in databases. If you want to find out some relevant information, if you want to find some, or if you want to retrieve some records as per your requirement, then again you need an SQL. So the skills necessary to be a good data scientist include being able to retrieve and work with data. This is the most important skill required in order to become a good data scientist. And to do that, you need to be well versed in SQL. the standard language for communicating with database systems. Nowadays, most companies are going towards being data-driven. Every company is used to store their data. These data are stored in a database and are managed and processed through a database management system, because DBMS makes our work so easy and organized. So guys, if we are going to store your data without DBMS, it will become very difficult for you to manage that data. So DBMS makes our work easy and organized. Hence, it is essential to integrate the most popular programming language with the incredible DBMS tool. And SQL is the most widely used programming language while working with the databases. And it is supported by various relational database systems like MySQL, SQL Server, and Oracle. Thus, SQL becomes one of the most important concepts to be learned in this field of data science. And guys, if I show you this image, you can have a look. These are the 10 most in-demand data skills in 2021. Okay, and you can see that what skills you should have in order to become a data scientist. At the number 1, you should have Python programming skills, and you can see at number 2, you should have the working knowledge of SQL. These are the most in-demand data science skill for the year 2021. And in the next year, guys, they will remain same. So the first requirement in order to become a data scientist is you should have a sound knowledge of Python programming, and you should have a sound knowledge of SQL as well. And that is the reason, guys, why SQL is required to become a good data scientist. I hope it has been clear, because every company used to store their data in a databases, and in order to play around with that database, suppose you want to find out some relevant information, you want to retrieve some record, you want to update, you want to delete, you need an SQL. Okay, and now guys, practically we are going to understand that how we can play with an SQL. Here I would like to show you that whether working with SQL is a difficult task or it's an easy job. Okay, so this is what now we are going to understand. But before I proceed further, guys, if you do have any doubt, please do let me know. Everything clear so far? Here we discussed about introduction to data science, introduction to SQL, and what is the need of SQL for data science. So guys, if you do have any doubt, feel free to ask. For retrieving the data, okay, someone is asking that what are the differences between queries against a database and retrieve data from it. So the answer is very simple. In order to retrieve the data from the database, you are going to write up a query. Okay, if you want to retrieve some information, if you want to update any information, if you want to delete a record, then for that you have to write a query. So does it have any differences between cloud database? No. Even if you start storing your data in some cloud computing, let's take an example of Amazon. So in Amazon, you can create a virtual machine. In Amazon, you can create a Linux kind of a virtual machine, and you can install MariaDB. Again, you will be writing SQL commands in it. Talking about Windows, if you are going to use Microsoft Azure, Azure is a cloud computing platform. Here you can install a virtual machine related to SQL Server, where you can still execute your SQL queries. So no such difference. What is the difference between SQL and MySQL? Okay, so I'll tell you the main point. SQL, you need to pay for an SQL. Okay, MySQL is an open source. Okay, so that means MySQL you can download for free. It is available for free even for commercial purposes. But for SQL, you need to pay. Okay, for SQL, actually, you need to pay, because SQL either provide you a free trial version or you have to pay for it. And there is one more huge difference: security. Okay, anyone can have an access to your MySQL database, but with the SQL, you can set up some permission. So the major difference between SQL and MySQL is SQL is more secure. Okay, and for SQL, you have to pay. MySQL is an open source. You can use it for free. Okay, you can install it, you can download it for free, but SQL, you have to pay. I'll show you the working demo of the difference between SQL and MySQL. So guys, any more doubts? Everything clear so far that what is data science, what is the need of SQL, so that practically we can understand how we can use SQL in order to play with data science. Okay, so now I'm proceeding further. So now, here guys, focus on my screen, because here I'm going to give you an instruction that how you can get started with SQL. So guys, in order to get started within SQL, you have to install SQL Server. Okay, if you're a Windows user, then what you need to do is you need to install SQL Server. Okay, I'll show you that how you can install this SQL Server, because now we are proceeding practically. So this is going to be our practical demo. I'll show you that how with the help of an SQL you can create a database, you can create table, how you can insert records into the table, how you can play with select statement. We will be discussing about primary key. We will be working on an SQL case study helping a startup CEO manage his data. And lastly, we are going to talk about Python, that how you can use Python and SQL all together. So this is going to be our practical demo. So guys, in order to perform these practical demo, either you should have SQL Server installed or you can use this VAMServer. I'll show you the difference. If you want to get started within SQL, okay, suppose you want to execute SQL queries and you need to understand SQL practically, then you should install this SQL Server. Okay, so this is the link which you can use. Even I would like to share this link with you in chat. So guys, I've shared the link with you in chat. So if you want to get started within SQL, you can install MySQL Server in your machine. Okay, and how you can install it, it's actually simple. You can click on Get Started. Okay, first of all, you need to select whether you want to be a developer or an express. So you can see SQL Server 2019 is available for free. Okay, but for commercial purposes, guys, you have to pay for it. Okay, it will provide you a trial version for commercial purposes, then you need to pay for it. So installation part is easy, but it will take up a little bit time. If you click on download now. Okay, so this is going to be your SQL setup which you can install. Okay, however, it will take time. So that part I'm not going to discuss in this workshop. But if you want to get started within SQL, this is how you can get started. Okay, you can download an SQL Server in your machine. Now, if you want a lightweight version of SQL, then you can use another setup, VAMP. So VAMP provide you an MySQL console where you can practice your SQL queries. Okay, I'll show it to you. So this is the link which you can use in order to get started with an SQL. VAMServer provides you MySQL console and even an option for writing in SQL queries. So it is available for free. It is lightweight. Here, it will take up a little bit time and might be possible that in some Windows machine, it may give you an error that this dependency is not installed. Please install this. Okay, so if you want to get started with an SQL, either you can download Microsoft SQL Server or you can use this VAMServer. So this is how your VAMServer exactly looks. It is available for free. All you need to do is you just need to download and you just need to install it. So this is how it looks. Here you need to click on download. Okay, and if you are using Windows 64-bit, then you can select this option. If you are using 32-bit operating system, then you can select this option. Now, before you proceed with the with installation, I'll show you. Okay, you can fill out this form. Okay, and this is going to be an important exe which you should have before installing VAMServer. In our session, we are going to use VAMServer. VAMP stands for Window Apache MySQL PHP. If you are a Linux user, then you can download LAMP, Linux Apache MySQL PHP. If you are a Macintosh user, you can download and install MAMP, M-A-M-P, Macintosh Apache MySQL PHP. Only one thing, guys, you need to take care of. While you are going to install this VAMServer, you need to install this file first, Visual C redistributable file. Okay, it's a Visual Studio file which you need to install. Okay, and then you can try installing VAMServer, which means before installing VAMServer, you need to install this. Rest everything is super easy. For our practical demonstration, guys, we are going to use VAMServer because VAMServer provides you both. It will provide you an SQL console where you can execute your SQL queries, and it will provide you MySQL console in which again you can execute your SQL queries. So how you can use this VAMServer, I'll show it to you. So using this link, you can download the VAMServer, install it by just clicking on next, and here. This is how it will look. Once you are done installing VAMServer, you need to start the server. I'll click on yes, and guys, here in the taskbar, you can see that as of now, this icon is in a red color. Very soon it will become in a green color. Okay, so it's orange now, and the moment when this icon will become green, that means your VAMServer is ready to be used. Now, guys, if you want to practically understand the concept of SQL, you want to practice about queries, you want to know how we can create database, how we can create table, then from the VAMServer, you can select this option phpMyAdmin. Okay, you can click on it, and from here, you can select this option phpMyAdmin. If I click on this phpMyAdmin, here it will provide you SQL Console where you can execute your SQL queries. Okay, so let me maximize the size of it. So guys, here in phpMyAdmin, you can see we have the second option, SQL. Okay, so very easily you can click on this SQL. And this is the area where you can run your SQL queries. So guys, either you can use SQL Server or you can use VAMServer. Now, this is the practical demo which we are going to understand. One by one, I'll show you that how we can create a database, how we can create table, then how you can insert record into that table. What do you mean by select statement? What is primary key? And then later on, we will be working on this case study where we are going to help a startup CEO manage his data. And then finally, I'll show you practical demo of how you can use SQLite with Python. Okay, and for that, I will be using VAMServer. Okay, in VAMServer, we have this SQL where we can execute our SQL queries. So now, guys, writing SQL query is not a difficult task. It's very easy. It's actually very easy. Okay, it is just like simple English. Suppose you want to create a table, then the command is the same, create table. If you want to insert some record, then command is even same, insert into table, and then you can insert your records. So I will be using what? I will be using this VAMServer in order to show you practical demo of SQL queries. So the very first step is, guys, we need to create a database. And in that database, you can create multiple tables, and in those tables, you can store your data. So how you can create a database? For creating database, we have this command, create database. Okay, let me increase the size a little bit. So this is the command which you can execute, create database. And guys, here you can specify the name of your database. Okay, here you can specify the name of your database. And now this is what we call as a query. Okay, now you need to terminate this query with semicolon. So you can keep a note of it. You can write it down somewhere. If you want to create a database, then you can use this command, create database, and then you need to specify the name of your database. So let's say I'm going to give the name of my database as sample DB. This is going to be the name of my database, named as sample DB. And now what you need to do is you just need to execute this query. Okay, and guys, how you can execute this query? By simply clicking on Go. Okay, so here we are done writing up our query. Now it's the right time to execute it. So I'll just click on Go. And you can see that your query is successful. And on left hand side, okay, on my left, guys, you can see that our database has been ready. So VAMServer provides you this interface in which you can execute your SQL queries. Okay, here you can use one more concept. I'll show you. We can use console window as well. Console window will be better if you are a newbie to the SQL. So in order to access that console, again, you need to click on VAMP. Okay, from MySQL, you can select this console window. Now in this console window, you can write up your SQL queries. Okay, so in starting, it will ask your password. If you haven't set any password, then you can press enter and you will be redirected to this console. Okay, and now guys, in this console, we can execute our SQL queries. Okay, so now one by one, I'll show you that how to create a database, how you can create table, then how we can manage this information. But one thing is very sure, guys, SQL is easy. All you need to do is practice as much as you can. Okay, try to think some case studies that how you can help a startup to manage its data, how you can help an e-commerce company to manage their data. Think of these organization and very easily you can learn SQL. So SQL is very simple. Okay, in today's workshop, I'll show you, means we are going to cover 30% of your SQL course, how to create table, how to manage the data, how to update, how to delete, everything we are going to cover. Okay, so the first step is, guys, here we are going to create a database. Okay, I'll start the journey, first of all, by creating a database. So in order to create a database, this is the command, create database. And remember, here you need to specify the name of your data. So let's say the name of my data is SQL Workshop. So this is going to be the name of your database. Now here we need to terminate this with semicolon and I'm going to press an enter. So guys, here you can see that I'm getting this message, query OK, one row affected. That means your database has been created successfully. Now guys, if you want to check whether your database has been created or not, what you can do is here you can use this command show databases. Okay, if you want to check whether your database has been created or not, then you can use this command show databases. Okay, and now here you need to press enter and it will show you the list of database you are having. So guys, here you can see we have just created this database SQL Workshop and it has been there. So that means this is the command using which you can create a database. And if you want to check whether the database has been created or not, you can use this command show databases. Okay, and now guys, here once our database has been ready, we can now start using it. So always remember this hierarchy, guys. Suppose you're working in an e-commerce store. First of all, you need to create a database for them. And in that database, you can create multiple tables. Let's take an example of a university. You're working in a university and you need to store student information, you need to store teacher information, and you need to store admin staff information. So in a single database, you can create multiple tables. One table you can create for students, another table you can create for teacher, and another table you can create for your admin staff. It's not like that we'll keep all the information in a same place. No, we can create different table for it. So the first step is we need to create a database. You can give that database a name as university. And now once you are done creating that data, it's time to use that database. Here we cannot create table directly. First of all, we need to tell SQL that this is the database which we want to use, and this is the database where we are going to create a table. So for that, you need to use this command, use, and you need to specify the name of your database. So what do you mean by this query? This query says that from now onwards, we are going to use this database. Use SQL workshop. And guys, here you can see that the database has been changed. Now, what do we mean by this? Here, it says that now you can work on this database, or let's say from now onwards, we are going to work on this database. As of now, guys, this database is completely empty. Neither we have any records in it, neither we have any table in it. So the first step is we are going to create a table. So how you can create a table? Again, you can write a very simple SQL query, create table. Okay, and then guys, here you need to specify the name of your table. Okay, so let us say the name of my table is student. Create table student. Now guys, I'm pretty sure that you have worked on an Excel file. Okay, suppose let's take in same example. Your company is about to initiate an event and you have to register your colleagues. So how you can store that information in an Excel? So here I am going to use an Excel file. I would like to show you something important concept over there, and then we'll jump to our SQL create table query. So here I'm taking a real-time example. Suppose our company is about to launch an event and we need to register our colleagues. So guys, this is how you can register them. It's not like that you start saving the information directly. Okay, let's say this is the one, you write the name of your colleague, okay, and you write its designation, it's a project manager and so on. Then you're going to store another information, you'll write the name, and you're going to write the designation software developer. So this is not the way you are going to store the information. To this information, you are going to provide some relevant information. That means, first of all, here, you are going to specify some column names. Let's say ID, employee name, designation. Earlier, that information, guys, was a meaningless information. No one can understand that what is one, what is name, and what is PMSD. But if you provide a valid name to this information, it will become super easy for anyone. Okay, so this is going to be the name, and this is going to be the designation. So one thing is very sure that all of you will going to follow this approach. Now we are going to do the same. In our database SQL workshop, we are going to create a table, and the name of that table is student. Now, in this student, we need to have some column names. Okay, for that, what you can do is you can use fields. Okay, SQL provides you what? SQL provides you field. Here we cannot call them as a column name. Here we can call them as a field. So this is going to be my first field ID. Now, what kind of value you are going to store in this ID? Okay, or let's say if ID is confusing you, let's say serial underscore number. Let's take this as our first field, serial number. So this is going to be the field. Now in this field, what kind of value you are about to store? You are going to store integer, text, varchar. This information you need to specify. So guys, here I'm going to store an integer value. So I'm going to provide this as int. So int is what? It's a data type. So this is going to be your first key, first field, and this is going to be its type. Now here I'm going to create another key, another field. The name of that field will be name. Now what kind of a data type you are going, or what kind of an information you are going to save in this field? So let's say I would like to save text information. Okay, so here we are going to store our colleague names, our student name in text. Now here I'm going to create one more field. Let's say age. This is going to be field. What type of value you are going to store in this field? I'm going to store integer value. And this is going to be my final field, course. Okay, and here I'm going to store text information. So this is the syntax, guys, which you need to follow if you want to create a table inside your database. So this SQL query create table you need to use. And this is the syntax which you need to follow. Easy. Now we need to terminate it with semicolon. And here I'm going to press enter. So you can see that my query is okay. 0 rows affected. Query okay means that we have successfully created this table. Now, if you want to check whether this table is being successfully created in your database or not, you can execute this SQL query, show tables. Okay, you can execute this SQL query, show tables. And what this query will do, if I run this, you can see that we have one table inside our SQL workshop. Observe the output. It is saying you have student table in your database. So SQL workshop is what, guys? It was our database, and here we have one table, student. Okay, and now if you want to view the schema diagram of this table, means you are about to present this information to your company boss. Let's say this is the table name. In this table name, this is going to be my field, and this is going to be the data type. If you want to display this kind of a schema diagram, then you can use this command DESC, describe, and you can specify the name of your table. Okay, and now if I press enter, you can see this is going to be the schema diagram of your table. Here, what are the fields? We have serial number, we have name, we have age, we have course, and what kind of value we are going to save in these fields. In serial number, we are going to save integer value. In name, we are going to save text. In age, we are going to save integer, and in course, we are about to save text. Whether they can have null value, yes. Okay, because we haven't set any constraint here. I'm creating a very simple table. Here, null means that it is not mandatory to have the information in name. That means you can leave this name as blank. You can leave this age as blank. Are you using any kind of a special key? No. And this is going to be the default value. Now, default value means suppose you are about to insert some records and you forgot to put age. Okay. So here you will not going to have missing value. You will be going to have null, NULL. And null means you forgot to specify the age, the value of age. Okay. So guys, let me give you a quick recap what we discussed so far. Here I show you how to create a database. Then we'll discuss if you want to check whether the database has been created or not, then you can execute this command. Then if you want to use this database, you can use use and your database name. Here we have created the table. If you want to check whether the table is been created or not, you can execute this command. And here, in order to view the schema of your table, you can execute this command. So guys, any confusion so far? Here, I'm just explaining you the simple concept. Very soon, we are going to discuss some advanced concept as well. But before I proceed further, is there any confusion so far? Please feel free to ask. Or shall I proceed further? Okay, please do let me know about this, guys. Shall I proceed further? Any confusion so far? Okay, I'm waiting for your responses. Let me see how many of you are active. Okay, so someone is asking, can I use MySQL Workbench? Yes, you can use MySQL Workbench. And yes, WAMP and XAMPP is the same. Okay, so Panner, yes, you can use MySQL Workbench, and Faris, yes, you can use XAMPP. XAMPP is the same like your WAMP. Okay, so Zahid, you need to elaborate yourself which MySQL you're talking about. Is your Windows have default MySQL? Okay, so please elaborate your doubts so that I can explain it to you better. MySQL, yes, MySQLite is an inbuilt. Okay, you're talking about MySQL site. Yes. See, if you want to install SQL Server, okay, then you need to download and install SQL Server. But for MySQL, yes, you can use the MySQL official site, or even you can start using MySQL Workbench. Okay, and guys, if you are a newbie, if you don't have anything, then I have shared the link with you. Either you can install VAMServer or you can install SQL Server. For practice, I recommend you to install VAMP because SQL Server may take up a little bit space in your Windows machine. Okay, and it also requires some dependencies. Okay, so guys, now I'm proceeding further. So guys, as of now, you can just watch this session, or if you have MySQL Workbench and if you have Exam or any other SQL dependency installed in your machine, you can execute the code side by side with us. Okay, else you can watch this video. We are going to upload this video on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. Later on, you can practice. Okay, you can pause that video and you can execute the same command. As of now, I want you to pay proper attention to this workshop. Okay, so as of now, guys, we are done creating our table, but here you can see that we don't have anything in our table. Okay, our table is completely blank. So now it's time to insert records into it. Okay, as of now, we don't have anything in our table. Now I'm going to insert some records in our table. And guys, inserting record is also very easy. All you need to do is you need to use this SQL query. Insert into your table name. Okay, so what is the name of our table? The name of our table is student. So where we are going to insert? We are going to insert into our student. Now, where you are going to store this information? So here you need to specify your field name, serial number, name, age, and course. Okay, so insert into student, where we are going to insert the values. We are going to insert the values in serial number. We are going to insert the values in name. We are going to insert the value in age and course. Now you need to use values. Okay, and now guys, here in a parenthesis, you need to specify the values which you are about to insert. Suppose we got one registration. Okay, so I'll provide it to the serial number as 1. Suppose I'm the first student of your university. So you are going to provide me serial number as 1. Okay, so guys, remember the data type of serial number is integer, and that is the reason here I'm writing an integer value. But the next field is of type text. So that means you need to write my name inside single quotes or in double quotes. It totally depends on you. Okay, either you can use a single quotes or you can use double quotes. There is no such difference. Then we need to store age. Again, age we need to write in an integer. And finally, we are going to store course information. Here, guys, one thing you need to take care of, that every value you need to separate with the comma. Please don't make such mistakes. You need to separate every values with the help of comma. So 1 comma, Yash comma 23. And now here I'm going to insert the course information. So here I'm going to write SQL. Okay, so this is how you are going to insert records into the table. So insert into table name, where you are going to insert the values. We are going to insert values in serial number, name, age, course. And these are the values which we are about to insert in this field. And now guys, what you need to do, you just need to press enter. Query OK, one row affected. That means you have inserted a record in your table successfully. Now guys, there are multiple ways in which you can insert the records. I'll show you them one by one. Okay, so one by one, I'll show you all the records or all the approaches. Suppose guys, if you want to insert multiple records altogether, okay, if you are going to use this approach, here you can store only one record at a time. Okay, but if you want to insert multiple records, this is the approach which you need to follow. Insert into student, serial number, name, age, course will remain same, but here this syntax will be changed. Okay, so guys, here first of all, I'm going to insert the first value. Let's say serial number will be 2. Then the name will be John. The age of John is 21 years old. And let's say he enrolled for Python. Okay, so this is going to be my first value. So here I told you that we are going to insert multiple values. Now here I'm not going to use semicolon. Instead, I'll press comma. And now here I'm going to insert one more record. So the serial number will be 3. This time I'm going to insert, let's say, Amira. Okay, the age of this girl, let's say 18. Okay, and she enrolled for, let's say, web. Or let's say for web programming. Okay, now we have one more record. Again, I will be using comma. Then again, you need to use parentheses. Here we are going to record. We are going to insert the information of 4th student. So serial number will be 4. Name will be Smith. Okay, his age will be, let's say, 28. And he enrolled for artificial intelligence. Okay, and guys, once you are done inserting this information, now you can press semicolon. Okay, let's say here I'm going to insert 2, 3, and 4, means 3 more student information. And here I am going to press an enter. So here you can see that query OK, 3 rows affected. That means here we have inserted 3 information. So guys, this is the way of inserting a single record information. And this is the syntax of inserting multiple record. Now guys, sometimes you are going to have this interface as well, in which you insert values directly. Suppose if I don't specify the field, okay, I'll directly write insert into student values. Okay, I'm going to insert, let's say, 5th student. Name will be Alex. Okay, he is, let's suppose, 27-year-old, and he is enrolled for data science. So guys, here you can see that this time I'm not specifying the field information. I will be using this command insert into student values, and directly I'm writing the values. Now the moment when I press enter, you can see that this is also a valid approach using which you can insert a record. But in reality, guys, SQL experts, data scientists don't use this approach. Okay, they follow this syntax because this syntax will give you a clear idea that, okay, this information we are going to insert in serial number, this information we are going to insert in name, this information we are going to insert in age, and this information we are going to insert in course. However, you can see that we can insert a record using this approach as well. So this is how, guys, we can insert records into the table. Now it's time to view these records. Okay, suppose I need to check how many records have been inserted in this table. For that, you are going to use this SQL command select. Okay, so guys, select is used to retrieve or to select the information from the database, or it is used to select the information from the database table. In simple term, if you want to retrieve your table information, then you can use this select command. Okay, so select, here we need to use wildcard character asterisk. This asterisk means that we are going to retrieve everything. Asterisk is a wildcard character in your SQL, And this wildcard character means that you are going to retrieve everything from your table. So select star, and here you need to specify that your table name. So from, and guys, what is the name of our table? Student. So select asterisk from student. We're going to retrieve all the record from your table. I'll show it to you the moment when I press enter. You can see this is how the record in our table looks. Okay, at number 1 we have this student, number 2 we have this student, number 3, 4 and 5. So remember, we inserted 5 record, and if you want to view those records very easily, you can use select SQL command. So let's select star from student will retrieve everything from this table. Okay, now guys, if you want to fetch a particular record, okay, you don't want to fetch the entire information. If you want to fetch the particular record, you can use a clause. Okay, and the name of that clause is where. So in SQL we have this clause, and the name of this clause is where. Okay, now the where clause in SQL is used to filter records. Suppose you don't need to retrieve the entire information, you just need to know which student enroll at position number 4, or which student is enrolled for SQL, which student is enrolled for Python. Okay, here we need to filter out our information. So very easily what we can do, we can use this where clause. So how you can use it, I'll show it to you. Select star from student where, okay, where course is equal to Python. Suppose I want to know which student, okay, which student enrolled for this course Python. Then this is the command which you can execute. Select star from student where course is equal to Python. Now if I press enter, so you can see we have a student John, and this John has enrolled for Python programming. So guys, what this where clause will do, it is used to filter out your records. Even guys, suppose you just want to know the name. Okay, you don't interested in getting the serial number, age, course, you just interested in order to get the name. Again, you can filter out your information. How? This time, this is going to be a query. Suppose I just need to retrieve the name of student. So select, this time I'll just write name. Asterisk, what asterisk will do, it will return everything for you. Okay, but this time we are just going to retrieve the name information. So select name from my table student where course is equal to SQL. Okay, so this time what will happen, I'll show it to you. So this time guys, you will be going to have the output of name only. So Yash is the student who enrolled for course SQL. So this is how guys you can use this where clause to filter out your records. Okay, I hope it has been clear that if you want to insert records in your table, you can use insert into. If you want to select the records from your table, then you can use this select. And if you want to filter out your records, then very easily guys, you can use this where. Okay, now I'll show you some more basics and then we'll proceed further. I would like to show you two basic operations, update and delete, and then we'll work on this case study helping a startup CEO manage his data. So we are now just left with two basics. I'll cover those basics and then we'll proceed further. I hope you're enjoying this guys. It's very easy. Okay, and one thing is very sure, the moment when you start learning an skill, you find it very interesting. Okay, because you can see it's simple English. Okay, what you think, you just need to write that in an English. If you want to retrieve name, then write this, select name from student where course is equal to SQL. Okay, so now guys, we are going to understand two more things, update and delete. Suppose you want to update an information. As of now, guys, you can see that we have this record, select start from student. As of now, we have this information. Suppose I need to change the age of John. Okay, suppose accidentally we have written some wrong age and we need to update the age of John. So SQL provides you a command named as update. So with the help of update statement, very easily you can update your table records. How? I'll show it to you. Try to understand the syntax. Here you are going to write update. Then you need to specify the name of your table. So guys, the name of our table is student. So update student. Okay. Here you are going to use set, means what exactly you need to set. So update student set age is equal to 25. Okay, here we are updating the age of John. So I am going to set the age as 25, where serial number, or you can we can use like this as well, where name is equal to John. But it's better, guys, to use serial number. What if you have multiple Johns available in your table? So it's better to use serial number. So where serial number is equal to 2. Now what this query will do, this query will going to update the age information of John. Means it will update the information of that record which is available at serial number 2. So easy, update table name, set age is equal to 25, assign new value to it, where S number is equal to 2. And the moment when you press enter, query OK, one row affected. And now if I execute this command again, select star from student, you can see that earlier the age of John was 21 and now it has been updated. It will become 25. So guys, you can see that with the help of SQL, very easily you can update your previous records. Okay, and now I'll show you delete. Suppose I want to delete this Alex information. Okay, suppose this Alex is no longer associated with our university and we need to delete the information of Alex. So here we can use delete statement of SQL. How? I'll show it to you. Delete from table name student, where serial number is equal to 5. See, very simple command. So delete from your table where serial number is equal to 5. Okay, and what this delete will do, it will delete this record. Now if I try to extract the information from my table, you can see that Alex has been deleted. Okay, so guys, here we are done with our basics. In the basics, I teach you how to create table, how to create a database, how you can insert records in it, how you can update, and how you can delete. Everything clear so far? Because now we are proceeding towards this case study, helping a startup CEO manage his data, in which I will be teaching you some advanced SQL queries. Okay, so that it will become more interesting. SQL is very easy, guys. Okay, every company is storing their data in a databases, and in order to play with that databases, we can use SQL. Okay, so now I'll show you that how you can help a startup CEO manage his data. For that, I'm going to create a new database. In that database, we are going to create a table. I'll show you some different way of creating a table. Okay, so focus on my screen. Okay, and here, guys, we are proceeding towards our case study. So first of all, either we can use the same database. Okay, let's not create a new database. We are already done creating a database named as SQL Workshop. Now, in this database, guys, I'm going to create a new table. So here I would like to show you another syntax of creating a table. Create table, and the name of my table will be startup. Okay, This is going to be the name of our table. The name of our table will be startup, create table startup. Now guys, it is not mandatory that you should start writing everything in a same line. Okay, it is not mandatory at all. Okay, so what you can do is you can specify your field information in a separate line in order to make it more meaningful and more readable. You can follow the syntax. Just focus on my screen. Okay, here I will be using this parenthesis, and now just simply press enter. So here we are going to create our very first field. So my first field will be ID. I'm going to provide every employee an ID. So the data type of this ID will be integer. Now, if you want to have this ID as blank, now blank means, suppose this is how you're maintaining the record: ID, some name and designation. ID, name and designation. Here, name and designation. So guys, here you can see in this information, ID is missing. Okay, here you can see that the ID is missing, or you can see that here in this case name is missing. So if you don't want to have null values, okay, if you don't want to have null values, then what you can do is you can use SQL constraint. Okay, and which SQL constraint you can use? Here I will be using not null. Now not null constraint will guarantee that now this ID has to be of some value, which means now you cannot leave this ID as a blank. It won't take any null value from now onwards. Okay, so if you want your fields to have a proper value, you can use this constraint not null. Okay, here one more constraint I will be using, auto increment. Now, what is the benefit of this auto increment? Guys, earlier you can see that while inserting the records, we have to specify 1, 2, 3, and 4. See, manually I need to write 1, 2, 3, okay, and 5. But if you are going to use auto increment, what will happen? The moment when you are going to insert a new record, this value will be updated automatically. Means you don't need to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Auto increment will keep incrementing your ID. If you're going to start your ID with 1, then the next ID will become 2, next ID will become 3, next ID will become 4 automatically, because we are using auto increment. So what is the benefit of auto increment? Now you don't need to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 manually. Okay, auto increment will take care of it. Now guys, ID plays a very important role. Let's take an example. Suppose you're studying in a university. Can two students have the same roll number? No. Can two employees can have the same employment ID? No. In order to avoid this confusion, okay, here I don't want to have the same roll number for different students. I don't want to have the same ID for different employees. So you can provide it a key, okay, and here you can make it as a primary key. Now, primary key means that ID won't be repeated. Suppose if one ID is been allotted to me, one ID will not allotted to you. So primary key will take care of it. Okay, primary key means here we are going to make this ID as a primary key. And what is the benefit of primary key? Now, if one ID is been allotted to the employee, this one ID won't be allotted to the next employee. This is the benefit of using this primary key. So this is going to be our first field. The name of our first field is ID. What kind of value we are going to store in this ID? Guys, we are going to store integer. Not null will take guarantee that it won't have any missing value. Auto increment will keep incrementing your value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will become auto increment, means they will be inserted automatically for you. And primary key will take care that if one ID is allotted to me, this one now won't be allotted to anyone else. Simple. So this is my first field. Now here I'm going to create a new field. Let's say name. Okay, and here I'm going to write not null because I don't want name to be have null values. Okay, how you are going to call me if I don't have my name? So name is required. So here we are going to set name as also as not null. Then here you can keep age information, integer, salary, integer, designation as text, because in designation you can add project manager, software developer, junior software developer, senior software developer, and so on. Okay, and here I'm going to write one more attribute. It's a working hour, working underscore hour, and here I'm assigning it to as integer. However, you can assign it to date time as well. As of now, I'm assigning it as an integer. So this is the way, guys, using which you can create a table. It's not mandatory that you should create the table and you should write the syntax in the same line. You can write like this. It will provide more readability in your program. Okay, the benefit is quite simple. It will provide more readability. Okay, and now I'm going to press enter. Query okay. That means our query is okay. Our table has been created successfully. And now if I execute this command, show tables, so this time you can see that we have two tables in our SQL workshop database. One we have startup and another we have student. So startup we have just created. Okay, startup we have just created. Now guys, here we need to insert some records. So let's insert the records one by one. So insert into. Now one more thing I would like to tell you guys that SQL statements are query sensitive, means it's a case sensitive. If it's not mandatory that you should write insert every time in a uppercase, you can write them in a lowercase as well. Okay, you can write this information in lowercase as well. There is no case sensitivity. You don't need to worry about anything. Okay, so I will be using lowercase this time. Insert into. Table name is a startup, where we are going to insert the value. This time I'm not going to write ID. Okay, because ID is what, it's an auto increment. So directly I'll start with the name. I am going to insert the information in age. We are going to insert the information in salary, designation, and in working underscore R. Okay, so where we are going to insert the values this time, we are going to insert the value in name, in age, salary, designation, and in working hour. Okay, so now we can use this values. Okay, and one by one I'll start inserting a value to it. Okay, so here I'll show you that how we can insert values. So guys, this time here I would like to insert some multiple values in it so that we can perform some complicated queries, or we can explain or I can explain you a little bit more about SQL. So this is going to be my value. So name data type is text. Okay, age is integer. Okay, then we have salary. Salary is also integer, so it's a 5,000 RM. Okay, then here I'm going to write designation. Let's say he's software developer. Okay, or I'll just use some shortcut name, software developer SD. Okay, and then the working hour we have to write in an integer. So working hour is more than 40. Okay, so this is going to be my first record. So first I would like to insert the very first record, query okay, one row affected, and now I can insert multiple records. So guys, again, I'm repeating that why I'm not writing ID over here, because ID is auto increment. You don't need to worry about that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that will be taken care of by your auto increment. Now the next record which I'm going to insert is, let's say, Smith. Okay, I'll just change the salary as 7,000 or let's say 8,000 RM. He's working as project manager. Okay, so if he's working as a project manager, let's write some meaningful information, 32 age, and his working hour is more than 100. Okay, now I'm going to insert one more record. So guys, you just need to press upper arrow key. Okay, if you're wondering that how I'm able to write this so fast, so my typing is not so fast. I'm using a shortcut key over here. After writing your query, you can press an upper arrow key. Okay, upper arrow key will print the same query for you. Upper arrow key. Okay, now here I'm going to insert some more record. Let's say Alex. He is 23-year-old. His salary is, let's say, 5,300 RM. He's working as software associate, and his working hours is 30. Okay. Now we are going to insert some more records over there. Tina, we have one more participant or one more employee. Let's keep the girl's age a little. Salary, suppose he's earning 6,000 RM. She's working as software developer, and her working hour is 45. Okay, so guys, let me insert some more dummy records so that we can play around with this database, or we can play around with this record with the help of some advanced SQL queries. Amira, she is 23-year-old. His salary, suppose 9,000 RM. She's working as project manager, and her working hour is more than, let's say, 80. Okay, now I'm going to insert last record. John, his age is 26-year-old, earning 7,000 RM, working as senior software developer, and working hour is 60. Okay, so guys, we have inserted these dummy records. Now, if I show you, select star from startup. Okay, so these are the records which we have just inserted. Okay, and now guys, here in this table, I would like to show you some advanced SQL queries. Okay, here we know how to insert, we know how to create a table, we know how to delete, we know how to update. Here we are going to use some SQL functions which can help you to manage this data very efficiently. Now guys, suppose I need to know how much, suppose I am the owner. Okay, I am the owner of this startup, and I need to know that what is the average salary of all the employees. Okay, means what is the average salary we are providing to our employee. So here SQL provides you a function, and the name of that function is AVG, short form for your average. So let me show you how it will work. Select average salary, okay, from startup. Okay, so this is the average salary, guys, which we are providing. We are providing 6,716 RM. Okay, now how this average has been computed? Add them all, divide them with the total number, and you will be going to have this average. So that means SQL is not only limited to writing simple queries like insert, create, update, delete. Here you can use or execute functions like these as well. Suppose you want to find out who is the guy having the minimum salary. So here you can write select min from salary from startup. So this query will print the minimum salary. Okay, so who is having the minimum salary and what is the minimum salary? So you can see that 5,000 is the minimum salary. And who is having it? You can also retrieve that as well. Select name, comma, minimum salary from startup. So you can see that I have the minimum salary. So don't think that it will just print the minimum value for you. If you want to print the name as well, and then you can see that this is the command which can print name for you as well. Okay, now suppose you want to know what is the salary or how many employees are in there who is having the salary between 5,000 and 6,000 or between 5,000 till 7,000. Okay, so you can use this command. Okay, I need to know that which employees are having the salary between 5,000 till 7,000. Okay, so here you can use between. How? I'll show it to you. Select star from startup where salary, okay, where salary is between, okay, 5,000 or let's say between 4,500 and 7,500. Okay, so now what this SQL query will do for you, it will print the information. So these are the employee Yash, Alex, Tina, and John are having the salary between 4,500 RM and between 7,500 RM. Now, using the same minimum and the maximum, you can even get the detail of who is having the maximum working hour, who is having the minimum working hour. So that stuff you can also perform with the help of an SQL. Okay. Now here, if suppose I need to find out how many employees are there whose names start with A, how many employees has been there whose names end with A. So very easily, guys, you can execute these kinds of command as well. Okay, I'll show it to you. Here SQL provide you like. So it can find you any value that would start with your desired alphabet. How you can use it, I'll show it to you. So select star from startup where name like Y percentage. Okay, so now what do you mean by this Y percentage? It will return you the name starting with the Y. Okay, it will return you those values starting with Y. Okay, suppose you need to find out those employee names in which the names end with alphabet A, then you can write like this percentage A. Let me press enter and you can see that we have this employee whose names ends with A. So if you want to search with the starting initials, then you can use Y percentage. Put percentage after that alphabet. That means here we are searching the employee name that start with Y. And this means search those names which ends with A. So these percentage is a wildcard character. And in order to play with this wildcard character, you can use this like. Okay, now let's talk about some advanced concepts. Suppose I need to provide a bonus to my employee. A new year about to come. Okay, we are now proceeding towards a new year. And in new year, I want to provide or I want to increase their salary with 10%. So guys, as of now, you can see their salary is this. Select star from startup. These are their salary: 5,000, 8,000, 53, 6,000, 9,000, and 7,000 RM. Now, in the eve of new year, I am going to provide them the bonus of 10%. Means I want to update their salaries. So how you can do this? First of all, here what exactly we are going to do? We are going to update. So which SQL statement you are going to use? Update. So here I'm going to provide 10% to my every employee. So update, the name of my table is startup, set salary. Okay, here you can perform some mathematical computation. Salary plus salary multiply with, okay, so here I'm going to provide them 10% bonus. So 10 divided by 100, where salary is less or is greater than 4,500. Means those who are having the salary more than 4,500 RM, I'm going to provide them a bonus of 10%. So it's not mandatory that you are totally dependent on SQL reserved functions. You can write your own mathematical formulas as well. Okay, and guys, if I press enter, you can see that our query is okay, means our salary is being affected. Let me show you. Select star from startup. And now guys, you can see that after providing 10% bonus to them, their salaries will become this. Okay. So this is how guys you can play within SQL. So SQL is not only limited to this. In this workshop, we are just providing you an overview so that you can overcome your SQL fear. We have a lot more in SQL. We have different clauses, we have procedures, we have view, we have stored procedures. A lot more you can learn in an SQL. But here, one thing you need to focus that SQL is easy. It's not very complicated. All you need to do is you just need to understand the syntax, understand the basic syntax of how you can write an SQL queries, and you are good to go. Okay. So guys, if you want to become a very good data scientist, you should have a very good skills in SQL. And here you can see that SQL is not a difficult task. Writing or playing with an SQL query is a very simple, and it's interesting as well. Okay, because in an SQL, you are about to deal with some real world data. So that's it for the basic knowledge of SQL. Here we discussed that how you can use SQL inbuilt functions, how you can write your own mathematical formula, how you can update, delete, insert, create tables, and create a database. Now I would like to show you that how you can use SQL in data science. Okay, and for that I will be showing you this demo Python SQLite. Okay, I will be showing you this demo Python SQLite. That means here I am going to write Python program so that I can show you that with the help of Python program as well, you can play with SQL. Okay, so let's get started. So guys, here I'm going to use Python programming. So there are two alternatives. Either you can download and install Anaconda Navigator. If you're not having Python installed in your machine, so I'll show you other solution. You can use Google Colab. Okay, so you can use what? You can use this Google Collaboratory. Now, the benefit of Google Collaboratory is you don't need to install, you don't need to download any Python in for your machine. Okay, all you need to do is just use your Gmail account and you can write the Python programs. Okay, I'll show it to you. If you click on this welcome to Google Collaboratory, what is Google Colab is all about? Generally, we use this Google Collaboratory because in Google Collaboratory, we don't need to download and we don't need to install Python. It is available for free and anyone can use it. So what is Colab? It's collaboratory. It allows you to write and execute Python in your browser. And guys, the benefit is quite simple. Zero configuration is required. You don't need to install and download anything. Free access to GPUs and easy sharing. So whether you are a student, a data scientist, or an artificial intelligence researcher, Collaboratory can make your work easier. Okay, and how you can get started with this Google Colab? It's actually very simple, guys. All you need to do is you just need to click on sign in. And in order to get started with this Google Collaboratory, all we need is Gmail account. Okay, the only thing which you need is you only need a Gmail account. Okay, so guys, you can specify your Gmail account over there. Okay, even you can try it with me side by side if you are using laptop or if you are using desktop. What you need to do is I'll share the link with you in chat. So first of all, this is the link which you need to use, collab.research.google.com, or in your browser, you can directly type Google Colab. So guys, those who are using laptop or desktop, and if you want to execute the code side by side with me, you can use this Google Colab. Okay, so here we are going to click on this welcome to Google Collaboratory. Click on it. On your right, you will be going to have this option of sign in. Okay, you need to click over here on the sign in. You just need your Gmail account, guys. That's it. You just need your Gmail account. So here you can use your Gmail account. yashcloud24. You need to specify your password and you are good to go. For SQL practice, you need to download SQL Server or you need to download VAMP. But for Python programming, guys, and for SQLite, you can use this Google Collaborator. You don't need to download and you don't need to install anything. Just use your Gmail account and you are good to go. Okay, so now after signing in, it will redirect you to the Collaboratory again. Okay, and this is going to be the interface of your Google Collaboratory. Those who are viewing it for the very first time, this is how it will look. Now, guys, in Google Collaboratory, you can see that now I'm signed in. After signing in, you need to go to the file. Okay, you need to select this menu file and you need to select this very first option, new notebook. Okay, just click on this new notebook and a new tab will be open for you. And in this tab, you can write and execute your Python program, which means you can execute the demo side by side with me. Okay, so guys, you can see it is simple. So this is how your Google Collaboratory exactly looks. Let me increase the size a little bit. So guys, this is going to be our workspace area where we can write and execute our Python program. So what we call this area, we call this area as code cell. Okay, and in this code cell, you can write and you can execute your Python programs. Very easily, you can write and execute your Python programs. Okay, first let's rename it. So this is going to be the name of this Google Collaboratory. If you are using it for the very first time, in your case, it will be untitled 0.ipynb. Okay, here in my case, it is untitled 31.ipynb. So let me rename this. I will be using this SQL workshop.ipynb. Okay, or you can give any name to it, but please do not remove this extension .ipynb. So guys, here ipynb actually stands for Interactive Python Notebook. Okay, it stands for Interactive Python Notebook. So please do not remove this extension. Okay, and now guys, I'll show you that how you can use Python and SQLite together. So first of all, I would like to give you an overview of this SQLite. Okay, what do you mean by this SQLite? So guys, basically it's an API using which you can connect your SQL databases with the Python. Okay, SQLite is what? It's an API using which you can connect your SQL databases with the Python. Okay, and the best part of this is this SQLite is already inbuilt in your Python programming, which means you don't need to install this SQLite. I'll show it to you. Directly you can start using it. Import SQLite, and this is the module version SQLite 3. So this is the module which we are going to use, import SQLite 3. Okay, and all you need to do is just run the cell and you are good to go. So if you want to play with any SQL database along with the Python programming, you can use this module SQLite 3. And now guys, here we are going to do the same. In this workshop, we are going to use one database, and the name of that database is flights.db. Okay, in chat message, guys, I will be sharing up a link with you. So you all can download this database file from using this link. Okay, in chat message, guys, I'm sharing it with you. So this is the link using which you can download this database. I'll show you how you can download this database file. It's quite easy. All you need to do is the link which I've shared with you. You just need to paste this link over here, press enter, and a zip file will be downloaded for you. Okay, you will be going to have the zip file, and now you can extract the content from the zip file, and you will be going to have one DB file. Means a database file I have shared with you. In that database, first of all, this database is all about airline industry. In this database, we have multiple tables. We have tables related to our airlines. We have tables related to routes, means from which route your flight will destination and source information. So we have multiple tables in this DB files. You can create your own tables as well. You can execute your own queries as well. Okay, so guys, you can see that I'm done downloading this zip file. And now all you need to do is you just need to extract it. So here it is. And all you need to do is right click on it and you can extract the content. So this is the DB file, guys, which we are going to use. Flights, it's a database file. Okay. So again, I'm repeating, this database is related to the airline industry, in which we have multiple tables. We have airline informations, we have source destination information, and so on. Okay. Now, once you're done downloading this zip file or this database, I'll show you how we can upload it. Okay. If you want to upload any computer file in Google Collaboratory, okay, here guys, we are using Google Collaboratory. If you want to upload any file from your computer to the Google Collaboratory, you can use this module from google.collab import files, and this files module provide you a method named as upload. Now using these two lines of code, guys, you can upload any file in your Google Collaboratory. Okay, you can upload image, data set, database file, any file you can upload. So let me run this cell. It will give you choose file, means file selection wizard. Just click on choose file, browse for your file. So in here, in downloads directory, we have this folder, and here is my database file. Okay, so I'll just select this and I'll just click on open. And now you can see Google Collaboratory will start uploading this file on your platform. Okay, so first we need to import this file so that we can play with this. Now, how we are going to play with it, I'll show you that how you can use Python programming in order to play with an SQL, means how SQL has been used in data science. So these are the two steps, guys, which you need to follow. We are going to use SQLite 3. Then we are going to use this flights.db file, which I have shared with you. Okay, and this is the way using which you can upload it. Okay, so it's 45% done, and once it's been uploaded completely, I'll show you how you can use Python with SQL. Okay, so it is 74% done, 77% done. And once it is 100% done, that means your file has been uploaded successfully. Or guys, what else you can use instead of this Google Collaboratory? You can download and install Anaconda Navigator. Okay, Anaconda Navigator will provide you a Jupyter notebook, and you can use that Jupyter notebook to write and execute your Python program. Okay, in order to save your time, in order to save your installation and downloading time, we are going to use Google Colab. Now, you can see that this file has been uploaded. If you want to check whether this file is been uploaded or not, here we can use !ls command. Okay, it will list the files. Okay, it will list the files. Okay, and the moment when you run the cell, you can see that your file is been uploaded successfully. If you are having your file name over here, guys, that means your file is been uploaded successfully. So now guys, you need to focus on my screen because certain instructions I would like to share up with you. Now we are going to play with this DB file along with our Python programming. And for that, we need to follow some hierarchy, or you can say we need to follow some steps. So in order to work with the SQLite database from Python, first we have to connect to it. Okay, that means we need to establish a connection to this database. Okay, and for that, SQLite 3 module provides you a function, and the name of that function is connect. Means before you start executing SQL queries, let's say insert, select, you need to connect with this database. Okay, always remember, first we need to connect with this database, or you can say that we need to create a connection with this database. Okay, and how we can create a connection, guys, it's actually simple. This SQLite 3 provides you a method named as connect. Okay, and how you can use this method, make a use of your module SQLite 3, and it will provide you a method named as connect. And guys, here you need to specify the name of your database, and the name of our database is flights.db. So this is how you are going to connect with your database. It is same like this. Remember, first we created the database and then we use it. Here we are doing the same. Okay, here we are creating the connection string, but here we are creating the connection string with the help of this method connect. Okay, and now here, let me save this information in this variable con, let's say short form for my connection, and I'm going to run this cell. So guys, here you can see that our connection string has been established. Oh, sorry for that. See, I need to write in a lowercase. Okay, and now you can see that our connection has been established. Now, once your connection is been ready, here comes cursor into the picture. Now, what is cursor? After creating a connection, here comes cursor into the picture. Now, guys, what do you mean by cursor? So once we have a connection object, we can then create a cursor object. Now, cursor allow you to execute SQL queries against a database. Suppose you want to know how many tables are in this database. You want to insert those you want to insert some information. You want to retrieve some information. You want to perform updation and deletion. For that, you need a cursor object. It's a rule. Okay, and the second rule says first establish a connection and then create a cursor object. Now, what is the benefit of cursor object? Cursor allow you to execute queries on the database. Okay, and how you can do this? It's quite simple. Now, with the help of this connection, we need to create a cursor object, and for that you can use this method cursor. Okay, you can use this method named as cursor. Okay, and in Python programming, in order to create an object, we need to declare a variable. Means this is the syntax of creating an object in Python programming. So the name of our cursor object is CUR, cursor. Okay, and let me give you again an explanation of cursor object. As cursor object we need so that we can execute SQL queries in our database. Now, what kind of an SQL queries you can execute? Suppose you want to select, you want to retrieve, you want to insert. For that, you need this cursor object. Okay, and now guys, very easily you can execute SQL commands. Now, in order to execute SQL commands, first of all, you need to use cursor, and then you need to use this method execute. And now guys, here, whatever you have learned so far, you can write the same. Okay, you can write the same. So in this database, we have a table, and the name of that table is airlines. Now I need to view the output of that table, means how many records has been there and how the records has been inserted. So here, same command you can write. Select star from, the name of the table is airlines. Okay, And here I'm going to retrieve only 5 record. So guys, what this limit will do, this limit will return you only 5 records. It won't print the entire information from your table. It will print only 5 records. So I hope it has been clear. In Python programming, guys, first of all, we need to create a connection object. Then we need to create a cursor object so that we can execute our SQL queries. And you can see that here I'm writing the same thing, which we just discussed in this console. Okay, but in Python programming, this is the way of writing and executing SQL queries. So here what we are doing in this database, we have a table named as airlines, and I'm retrieving 5 records from this table. Okay, and now what you need to do, you just need to run this cell. Okay, and this is going to be your output that your SQLite cursor is being ready. Okay, but guys, here I was expecting this kind of an output when I write like this. Select star from student, we are expecting this kind of an output. But here in Python programming, you can see we have this. So no worry, in SQLite 3, we have this method named as fetch all. Okay, if you want to have the same kind of an output, then you can use this method fetch all. I'll show you. So again, with the help of cursor, I'm going to call this method fetch all. Okay, I'll just store this information in this variable results. And guys, finally, I will print those results. Okay, I'll print that result. So now guys, this result, first of all, what this fetch all will do, it will print you a list of tuples having records. Okay, what this fetch all will do, it will print a list of tuples having records. Means here you can see our output is being displayed in a tabular fashion. Okay, but here what this fetch all will do, it will give you a list, and in that list you will be going to have some tuple of record. So this is the list in our Python programming. This square bracket means list if you are new to the Python programming. And guys, this is going to be our very first record. Okay, this is going to be our second record. Okay, now if I scroll on right hand side, this is going to be our second record. This is going to be our third record, and so on. So total 5 records is being inserted, is been retrieved for you. But no worry, if you want to have an output like this, suppose this you are unable to understand this output, so you don't need to worry about anything. Python provides you a module, and the name of that module is pandas. Okay, what Python will do, Python provides you a module, and the name of that module is pandas. And with the help of pandas module, guys, you can have the same representation. You can have the same output. So that I will be talking about little bit later on. First, I would like to show you that how we can use data science. So guys, first of all, with the help of data science, you are going to analyze the past data so that you can draw some meaningful information out of it. If your company is going to provide you a database file, then you need to use this SQLite 3 module. If you want to analyze the data with the help of Python programming, then you can use this SQLite 3 module. You need to create a connection object, then you need to create a cursor object, and then you can play within SQL queries. Okay, I'll show you some more advanced level of it. Suppose guys, I ask you, okay, because data scientist job is not so easy. Let's take an example. Suppose I ask you to represent all the airline information in world map and present it to me in a graphical format. I don't want this table kind of an output. You are working as a data scientist. So what you need to do is you need to print all the routes, or you need to print all the airlines in a graphical format. So how you can do this? Now we are going to understand this, because company will definitely going to ask these set of questions from you if you are a data scientist. It's not an easy, it's not so complicated. All you need to do is you just need to focus and try to understand this concept. So here our objective is we need to print how many airlines we are having in this world, okay, or how many airlines is been running in this world, how many airports we are having, because in this database you are going to have these kinds of tables. Okay, so guys, first of all, here what I will be doing is I'm going to create a cursor object. So our cursor is already been ready. And now I'm going to execute an SQL command. So cursor dot execute. Okay. And if you want to write some 2 or 3 line of code, then you can use this 3 triple quotes approach. Okay, guys, in Python programming, you can use 3 triple quotes if you are about to write, let's say, some lengthy program. Okay, suppose if you want to create a table like this, okay, like this. So here what you can do, you can use 3 triple quotes. And now in 3 triple quotes, you can write your SQL command. So first of all, here, I'm going to use select. Okay, select from airports, but wait. So airport is another table. Our objective is to print all the information of airports in the world. So airport is the table which is available in this flights.db file. Okay, now guys, in this airport table, we have longitude and we have latitude information. Okay, if you execute the same command, select star from airport limit 5, you will be going to have the latitudes and you will be going to have some longitude output. Now here what I will be doing is I will be using SQL method cast. Okay, and here I'm going to give an instruction longitude as float. Okay, just wait and then I'll explain it to you. It's very easy. Okay, but before that, first let me write this cast latitude as float from airports. Okay, so this is going to be my query which I'm going to execute. So now guys, here in this query, what exactly we are doing nothing. We are retrieving the latitude and longitude column information. Okay, we are retrieving latitude and we are retrieving longitude column information. But here, first of all, we are going to convert them as a float. Might be possible that longitude and latitude information may be saved in some text. So here what we are doing, we are performing typecasting. In typecasting, what we are doing, we are converting the data type of longitude as float. We are typecasting the data type of latitude as float. Okay, so what I mean to say is from this table airports, we are retrieving the latitude and we are retrieving the longitude information, but we are not retrieving them as a normal. We are typecasting them into float. Or if you don't want float, if you want to convert them into an integer, guys, here you can write int. Now, please in chat message clear, please confirm me, is this query is clear? Again, I'm repeating that what exactly we are doing. From this table airport, we are retrieving the longitude information, we are retrieving the latitude information. But I'm not sure whether this latitude and longitude information is in string or is in a text. So what I will be doing, I'm casting this longitude information as float, means from your database table, you are retrieving the longitude information as a float data type. You are retrieving the latitude information as a float data type. Okay, and let's save this information in this variable named as coordinates. Okay, and now I'm going to run the cell. Boom, it's done. Again, I'm repeating, we are doing nothing. From this airport table, we are fetching, we are retrieving longitude and we are retrieving latitude information. But what this cast is doing, we are not sure that whether this longitude is in string or is in a text or is in or it is in an integer. Here we are converting their data type as float because I want my latitude and longitude information in float. So now guys, if I print this coordinates, okay, if I print this coordinates, you can see that information has been retrieved for you. Okay, so you can see that again it will showing SQLite cursor. No worry, I'll use this method fetch all. Let me run the cell again, and let me run the cell again. So guys, here you can see that every latitude and longitude information will be returned to you. These are what? These are airport coordinates. Suppose we have Malaysia airport. So this is the latitude and this is the longitude information. Sorry, the first one is our longitude and the second one is our latitude information. So remember what this fetch all will do. I'll show you that it will give you the list of tuples. So here it is a list. In index number 0, we have longitude. At index number 1, we have latitude information. Now we need to represent this information in a graphical format because who we are data scientists. Okay, so let's map these airport. Okay, and for that guys, we are going to use base map library. Okay, here we are going to use this library and the name of this Python library is base map. So first of all, what this base map will do, it will help you to print geographical coordinates. Okay, suppose if you want to have this kind of an output, okay, or you want to have this kind of an output, what you can do is you can use this geographical, you can have this geographical output in your Python program with the help of this Python base map. Okay, but before that, we need to install this base map. Okay, because it's not already installed in our Python programming, we have to install it. So this is the package which we are going to install, Python installer package. We are going to install base map. So guys, whenever you want to install any third-party library or any third-party package, you can use this pip command. Pip stands for Python installer package. Okay, and now here we are going to install this base map library. So guys, again, what is the benefit of using this base map library? It will give you a geographical kind of a output, means we are going to have world map kind of an output like this. Okay, we can have this different output for our program. So let's see how we can use this base map. So the first of all, you need to install it. Once you're done installing it, now what you need to do, add a new cell. If it is giving you a warning that please restart your runtime, so I'll check whether I need to restart or not. Okay, I will be using it, and if it is not working, then I'll restart my runtime. And don't worry, you just need to click on this button to restart. So here we are going to use from mpl matplotlib.toolkits. We are going to import this base map. Import base map. Okay, I need to change this spelling. Import base map. Okay, and guys, here in Python programming, we have this data science library matplotlib, which is used to generate graph. Import matplotlib.python-plot-as-plt. So these are the two packages which you need to use if you want to print your SQL information in a graphical format. Okay, so as of now, you can see that I'm getting an error. So I am going to run, click onto this option, restart runtime, click on yes. Okay, here it is just restarting. Okay, we have just installed a new package, so it's just restarting. Okay, and now I'm going to run this. Okay, or what I need to do is, I hope I need to restart all my cells. Just to wait. So guys, again, we need to restart this. We need to wait here for a while. I need to import my DB file once again. Meanwhile, what we can do, we can write our piece of code. So one by one, we need to run all these cells once again. Let me check whether it's able to connect or not. Okay, so first of all, I think we need to upload it. Let it be uploaded and then it will work. So whenever we are going to install a library and if Google collapses, then you need to restart your runtime environment. Just then simply click on this button and restart all your cells, means rerun all your cells. That's it. So here we need to wait. It's 53% done. So this is how, guys, in reality, in corporates, okay, why we are teaching you such complicated things, because in reality, think of a company. In a company, they will not ask you to write simple SQL statements. Okay, definitely you need to perform data analysis over there. Okay, and it's a real-time example. This database consists of airline industry database. So that is the reason why I'm using it, so that you can get a clear idea. Okay, this is the way how I can use this SQL along with the Python. However, you can see that concept is same. Okay, you can see that we are writing the same select command, but in cursor. Okay, as you can see that we have the same output. And now what exactly we are doing, I'm going to convert this output in a pictorial representation. Means in world map, I'll show you that how many airports we have. Okay, so it's done. Let me check whether it's been uploaded or not. Okay, so we have flights.db. I'll run this. I need to create my cursor object once again. Means every cell, guys, I need to run because we have just restarted our runtime. Okay, this I'm not going to run because we have already installed this base map. Now it should work. Okay, it's saying that cannot import name base map. Okay, sorry, I need to cross check the spelling. Okay, B, guys, I need to write in an uppercase and then I'll check. Okay, so that was a mistake, guys. B, we need to write in an uppercase. Okay, and now you can see that this base map has been installed successfully. Now, I would like to share one link because we are going to do the copy and paste. At initial state, it may seem confusing to you. So I am providing you this API. And guys, from this API, you can get the clear idea of how you can display this coordinate information in a geographical map. So this link, which I've shared with you, is an important link because this link will show you how you can display this coordinate information in a geographical map. So we are using the official documentation of base map. So guys, these are the values which we need to use. Okay, you can see that we have different values. Okay, we are going to use them one by one and then I'll show you what is here going to be a final output. Okay, so either you can copy the code from here, okay, like this up till here, or you can write it on your own. Okay, so I will be writing up my own because I'm not going to write that complicated code. So here I'm going to create the map object. So the name of this object will be M, or the name of this variable will be M. And guys, here we need to specify some information. First of all, base map will provide you different projections. Okay, it will provide you these different projections. And what do you mean by these projections? It is nothing. It is this, that what kind of map you want to have. Okay, so we have different projections. Okay, for streets, for terrain, for topographic. So these are the different projections. So here we are going to use this one because it will show you the world map, MERC. So this is going to be your first attribute and the first value, projection, and projection will be MERC. Okay, you can copy it from here. The full form of this MERC is Mercator, and this Mercator will show you the world map. Okay, and now comma, we need to specify the latitude information, we need to specify the longitude information. So these are the parameters, guys, which we need to use. LLCRNRLON, LLCRNRLT. So don't worry, you can read the description about them from here. So the first parameter which we are going to use is latitude. It's nothing, it's latitude. But this is how they used to write in this base map library. So you can just copy it from here, paste it. Okay, from where you are going to start your latitude, you need to specify an angle. So here I am going to write -80. Then we need to specify this information. Longitude. For longitude, guys, they have this keyword. So don't worry, just copy it from here. Okay, and you can specify an angle 80 degree. Then again, we need to specify this information. So this is for your latitude. Okay, first we need to copy the latitude information. So latitude I'm going to copy. Then I'll copy the longitude, paste. Now you can copy these two values, paste. And guys, here you can write LON. So guys, in general, we are just playing with the latitude and longitude, but in the base map library, they used to call latitude like this, and they used to call longitude like this. So no worry, we can copy the keywords from here. Okay, then we are going to use this width, height, resolution, and so on. Here, one more parameter we are going to use, lat_ts. Okay. So again, here you need to specify the latitude of true scale. Okay, so it's default value. Okay, here I am going to write its default value, lat_ts 20. And now here we are going to use a resolution. Now what is resolution? I'll show it to you. So resolution of boundary data set. C for crude, 1 for low, etc. So we are going to use C for crude. Now what is crude? Guys, crude is again the same. We are going to use MERC, and in order to display the lines, we can use this resolution, C, crude. So how you can use it? You can just copy it. Okay, I'll just delete this and my resolution will be crude. And now finally, okay, we are done creating this object. So here in base map, this is how you need to specify the latitude and longitude information. So guys, here we cannot, we directly cannot write latitude and longitude. We need to use these keywords. So these keywords you can copy from these API.html. Okay, and what this base map will do, I'll show you. Now here we are going to draw coastlines. And even I'm going to draw boundary lines. Or let's say draw map boundary is the method. Draw map okay. So now guys, here we are going to use these two methods. Draw coastlines. Coastlines will be drawn and your map boundary will be drawn. Okay, and how you can draw it, I'll show you. If I now try to run this cell, okay, you can see that you are going to have this kind of a world map. Okay, if you try to run the cell, so basically it's a default values. If you try to run the cell, you will be going to have this world map. Okay, and now guys, in this world map, what exactly we are going to do? We are going to display our airports information, that how many airports information do we have. So this is going to be the default code which you can either copy or you can write on your own, but this code you need to write as per your programming need. Okay, so guys, in our coordinates we have latitude and we have longitude. Okay, so for latitude and longitude I'm going to use these two variable x and y. Okay, here we need to use m because m is associated to your base map. That means now here we are going to display this information over this map. Okay, now here, okay, we are going to use an index. Okay, here one by one we are going to use index. At index number 1, okay, so here I will be writing at index number 1 we have what? We have or L in, okay, I'll show you at index number 0 and index number 1 if you remember. So guys, at index number 1, sorry, at index number 0 we have longitude, and at index number 1 we have latitude. So we need to write the same information over here. So for L in coordinates, because we need to create this latitude and this longitude information. So here, and I'm going to place index number 1 as well. Okay, and I'm going to close it. So now guys, what this information will do, this information will going to display the latitude and the longitude information in your map. So from where we are fetching this latitude and longitude information, we are fetching this information from this variable chords, which we just declare above. And now finally, okay, we are going to plot it. So I will be using scatter plot. In Matplotlib, we have different kinds of a graph. We have bar graph, histogram. Here I will be using scatter. In scatter, I'm going to place X and Y. Okay. And this is going to be the width. And here I'm going to use marker as O. I'll show you that what marker is all about. It is what kind of an output you want to have. Okay, first of all, you need to have a look on scatter graph if you're not aware of Matplotlib. So guys, scatter graph is used to generate these kind of graph for you. Okay, now in scatter, if you want to have these circle, you can use this marker as 0. But if you want to have some different kind of an output, so you can write scatter marker Matplotlib, and here you can use this link. We have different markers. We have O, we have V. So these kinds of a marker. Okay. So if you are going to use dot, it will create point. We are using O. So a circle will be generated. If you use small v, then this triangle down will be created. So these are some different markers which we can use. But here I'm going to use simple O. Okay. And finally, I'm going to run this cell, and this is the size. This is the size of your marker. Now I'm going to run this. And guys, here you can see that in your plot, it will print all the airports. Okay. So this is how you can play with an SQL. So SQL is not only limited to insert, select, you can print your information in a graphical format using Python programming. Okay. So first of all, how we have generated this map, if you remember, we have generated this map with the help of this piece of code, and what exactly you are placing inside this map, we are placing latitude and longitude information, and from where you are fetching these coordinates information from chords. Remember what this chord is. At the above, we have a variable named as chords, and that is responsible for displaying your latitude and longitude information. So this is how, guys, you are going to perform an analysis using Python and SQLite 3. Okay. And now remember, what if you want to have an output in tabular fashion? So guys, Python also provide you a module named as pandas. Okay, so Python provide you a module named as pandas, and with the help of pandas, you can have the same output like we used to have in our console. Okay, now you need to repeat the same steps. So I'm just going to copy it from above. We need to create a connection object. Okay, we need to create a connection object, then we need to create a cursor object, and then we can execute our SQL queries. So first, we are going to create a connection object. Then here we need to create a cursor. Okay, a cursor, remember, if you want to execute in SQL queries. But here, if you're using pandas, then pandas will provide you a method named as read_SQL_query. Okay, and now guys, same query you can write select star from airlines limit 5. But what is the benefit of it here? It will going to give you an output in tabular fashion. So where we are going to execute this query, we are going to execute this query in our connection, and in connection we have this flights.db. Okay, now you can save this information in variable, let's say data. Run this cell, print the data, and you can see this time you will be going to have your output in a tabular fashion. Okay, it will print your output, or it will give you an output in a tabular fashion. Earlier, SQL 3 was giving you an output in list of tuples, but if you want to have your output in tabular fashion, then you can use this piece of command. Okay, and this is how guys you can use SQLite with Python. Okay, so guys, don't think that SQL is only limited to your select, insert, update, and delete. No, with the help of SQLite 3, with the help of Python, this is how you can perform some kind of a data analysis. Suppose you are working in an organization or in an e-commerce company where they are storing their user information. So you can upload that DB file in your Pandas interface. You can use SQLite 3 or you can use Pandas in order to play with that data. So that is the reason, guys, why SQL is needed for data science. Okay. So guys, any doubt? If you have any doubt so far, please feel free to ask. Okay, because we are done with our 3 hours workshop where we discussed about SQL. First, I'll show you the basics, that how we can use SQL in console, and then I'll show you that how you can integrate SQL with your Python. If you're aware of Python programming and if you're aware of SQL, then very easily you can design really cool projects. You can work on recommendation system. You can tell any company that which is the most selling product, which is the least selling product. Because if you know how to execute SQL query and if you know the basics of Python programming, you can combine them together and you can become a very good data scientist. Because if you remember, I shown you this image. Okay, let me show you. I've shown you this image, top 10 most in-demand data science skills. So you should have skills in Python programming, and guys, you should have skills in SQL. Okay, and if you have these skills, very easily you can work on recommendation kind of a project. You can work in a healthcare industry, you can work in an entertainment industry, and a lot more. Okay. So now guys, if you do have any doubt, please feel free to ask. If you have any doubt related to SQL, related to the Python, feel free to ask. Okay, because we are done with our 3-hour workshop. Okay, so now guys, I would like to give you an end note. So that's it for today, guys. Today we learned about SQL for data science, and I hope you enjoyed this session. If you missed out anything, okay, or you want to practice the same code which we discussed in today's workshop, you can join our Facebook page or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, because the same video is live on our Facebook page and we are going to publish it on our YouTube channel as well. Links, code file, you can directly download from that YouTube channel link. Okay, so for more information, okay, for more information, for any doubt or for any query, feel free to contact us. And now guys, how you can contact us, please do visit our website nexpertsacademy.com. So either you can call directly to us or you can join our Facebook page. We are on our Instagram with the name as Nexperts Academy. Okay, so thank you so much guys for joining us today. Thank you so much for paying your attention, for your time. So I wish you in advance a very happy new year. Stay safe and keep learning. Bye-bye and take care. If you do have any doubt, guys, please do visit our website nexpertsacademy.com and you can reach directly to us. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your time. We'll meet you very soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe and please keep learning.